Thank you so much for watching the Press Avenue YouTube channel. My name is John, and I just want to thank everyone who subscribed to our channel so far. We've tipped over 1,000 subscribers, and we love interacting with you on the comments, on Facebook, and on our site as well. So again, thank you so much for subscribing. I just love the feedback. Today we're talking about WPForms. So if you go to, let's go over here, WPForms.com is a drag and drop WordPress form builder that we've actually been wanting to try out. They did contact us and say, hey, would you do a video on this? And sent us a license as well to check out all the features. So thank you to WPForms for doing that. And it's been something I've been wanting to check out for a while now. I first did try it when they first hit the scene, but haven't really taken a hard look at it until recently. I have a ton of experience with Gravity forms, from building applications to quote builders, and then just simple forms as well. So I'm excited to kind of dive into this one as well and see how it compares or doesn't compare. Features, drag and drop form builder. WordPress has drag and drop everything lately. They do templates, which is great, conditional logic, mobile friendly. Let's see, notifications, you can look at entries, multi-page form, user registration. Again, you can go to their site and read it, but a lot of these I'm excited about. The Stripe add-on, I love. MailChimp, the Drip add-on, I'm excited to try. Zapier, surveys, signatures, they really do it all compared to some of the ones that have been on the scene for a while. So what we're going to do is go ahead and install it and then take a look at it. So we're going to head over to our WordPress site. All right, we've gone ahead and installed WPForms by going to Add New, Upload. Then additionally, I've gone to the settings and entered a license key. I don't want to show that part as I don't want to trip up and then have it exposed to the whole world. You understand? But so here we are under plugins, and it says WPForms. Again, this is the Pro version. I'm just going to head over to settings before I dive into the forms area. So license key there. Thank you for that. Under styling, you can do basic forms and theme styling. You can do base styling or no styling, which I really like. Whoops. We're going to leave it as is. You can load assets globally. They do have a GDPR checkbox, and you can read about that there. Going further in email, you can choose your templates for the email. Do you want HTML or plain text? Which is really nice because you can globally impact all email notifications. The header image, you can put your logo, and it also says a recommended size. So what I've seen so far of this plugin is they really do help you along. So instead of just saying header image, it gives you the size. It tells you to make it small for other devices. So I do think this is very good, helpful cues throughout the plugin. Background color, theme, and then carbon copy. If you want to CC, check this if you like to enable the ability to CC. I've got the CAPTCHA, so you can enable checkbox or invisible and then put in your keys. And again, they have a walkthrough step-by-step instruction. Validation. So these are just different things that it'll say. So payment is required. This field is required. If you want to change any of that, you can do that here. They have a payments area to select your currency. The integrations area has constant contact integrated, but I recommend MailChimp if you're going to start anywhere. And then miscellaneous. Oh, you can hide announcements. So one thing that drives me nuts about any plugin, paid or free, is the announcements. Now, I realize free ones is how you drive people to a premium, but some people take it too far. And then it irks me even more when I do pay for a plugin and I see announcements all day long on XYZ products. So I do like that you can turn this off and that you have that option. And then finally, when you uninstall this, you can check this to remove all data upon deletion. I like this as well, and the reason is sometimes you need to manually update a plugin. So if this is not checked, I could then delete WPForms, manually update it, and all my stuff still remains without worrying about the loss of data. If I do ultimately want to get rid of it, I can check this box and click Save and delete it. All right, enough of that. Let's get into the Forms area. So we're going to go to All Forms, and we're going to go to Add New. And it loads this whole new interface. over the top of WordPress. It's super clean. I really like it. And it just starts us at the top. Add a form name. We're going to do a contact us. Now again, what I like about WPForms is they have these templates built in. So you can see it here. So they do have a simple contact form. They do have a request quote form, newsletter, billing, donation, and suggestion. But I'm just going to start with blank form and fill it out and see how it works. So go with blank. Loading. All right, so it says contact us and add a field. So we're going to get somebody's name to start. So you simply just click it and it adds it in there. I can also drag it. Oh, that's great. So it's drag and drop, or it's click and add. So I'll get their name and their phone. So under fancy fields, I'll click phone. And then I'll click email. And then we'll add a checkbox. And then we'll add, let's see, we'll drag this up here. We'll add an additional, we'll do a multiple choice and a paragraph. So we'll start up here at name. So you can do a label, you can pick the format, simple, first and last. Simple is just one plain line, first, last, first, middle, and last. I sometimes do first and last, or I just keep it at simple. And then you have advanced options. You can choose the field size, placeholders, hide the labels, and then additional classes. And this part I love in that with other plugins like Gravity Forms, you have to go find the class or memorize the class. In this one, I can say, I would like this name field to be in a column, and you simply click it, choose which side of the column you want, and it adds the class for you, which is genius. I don't want a class currently, so I'm going to turn that off. And then lastly, conditionals. Conditional logic means if they say check this first choice checkbox, then show them this field or hide this field. So this is excellent when using applications or doing a quote form or grabbing additional information from people that you may or may not need. So, okay. So name, we're going to leave it at that. Checkboxes. How would you like to be contacted? So we will say phone, text, email, and I'll use a description. Please check all that apply. So please check all that apply. So one thing I would love to see is if I could push the please check all to apply up here. Just because on long form checkbox content, people may or may not see that. It might be under here. Let's see. Just bear with me. It is not, or I'm not seeing it quickly. All right, phone. To make something required, you just check required. It puts that little star. Their smart format decides on what region they're on. So if you're in the US, it'll put a 1, I believe. And you can read more about that. I'll put a link in the description. Next, email field. You can enable an email confirmation if you want. You just check this box and it adds it right there. So I'll leave it at that. Multiple choice. We'll say subscribe to our newsletter. I'll say yes, no, and then I can delete one of these easily, and then I can automatically check yes as the default, and if they don't want it, they can click no. So I think that's absolutely great. Another thing they allow is images. I can say yes and put a GIF or something that's 200 by 200 pixels. Oh, this says the same size, 250 by 250, and then the placeholder says 200 by 125. It is what it is. And then paragraph text, I'll say leave a comment. I'll make this required. All right, so there's my simple form, and I'll go ahead and hit save. If you click embed, which is right next to it, it simply gives you the shortcode. And again, WPForms jumps in and says, hey, this is how you use our embedded feature in Gutenberg or the WordPress 5.0 editor. Again, this is really great and welcomed for new users because a lot of new users jump into this stuff. and it gets confusing on where things are. So again, props to WPForms. But what we're going to do is go over to settings and to show you a little bit more of the back end of this. So we have name, description. We could add a CSS class, so a style class. The submit, it can say submit. It can say submit your comment. There's the processing text, so it says sending. And then you can add a class, styling class, to the button. You can enable an anti-spam honeypot. You can enable dynamic fields population, and you can disable storing information in WordPress. So if you don't want to store this information because of either GDPR or some other law, or you just simply don't want to store it, you want to have the email and be done with it, you would check that box. So go ahead and hit save. Next is notifications. How do you want to be notified? So the admin email is under the WordPress backend under settings. Whatever admin email is there will be sent. This will be sent to that admin. It'll say new entry from contact us. It'll be from Press Avenue and from the email, and then it'll include all of the fields. Other things you can include is the show smart tags. So you can say from, and you can put in their name, email, and I select this and it shows me the tags that are available, which are essentially the form fields. Love that. Again, great so far. Hit save, and then finally the confirmation message. So this is just a message to the user after they submit the form that says, thanks for contacting us, we'll be in touch shortly. Additionally, you can show them a page, so you can select a page. We don't have any pages on here really. Or you can redirect them. So you can redirect them to just a whole nother site. It could be Facebook, it could be Google, whatever you want. You just enter it in here and then hit save. Also, you can add additional confirmations. So we can show them a message here, and then you can add additional stuff. So they get a message, and then I wonder how this works if you do two at the same time. We'll have to test this later. These other ones that are grayed out are pro add-ons that I haven't installed yet. So they have conversational form, surveys, form pages, which is a multi-paged form, a locker, which is you fill out the form and then behind it you get an incentive like an ebook or an interview, etc. Form abandonment, which collects information before they even submit the form, which is great. And then post submissions, which will allow guest posting submissions and kind of take the headache out of that process. So next we'll go to marketing. It says you haven't saved, that's fine. Constant contact, which is the default. I despise constant contact. Every time I use it, it drives me insane. But that is the default one that is installed unless you get an add-on for one of these other ones. MailChimp is my preferred, and I'll make a separate video on that. Finally, under payments, you have PayPal Standard, which again is an add-on, or Stripe. I prefer Stripe if it's at all possible. And that's again on the add-ons page. So that's it here. We'll hit save and close out. So you can see there is our contact form. We can see the entries. We can preview the form. There it is, without any styling really. I can duplicate it, which I love that this is here. And additionally, I can delete it. Again, they show the shortcode, when it was created, and how many entries are here. So what we're going to do is go over to posts and add a new post. Again, we're using WordPress 5.0. And we do have Beaver Builder installed, but we're not going to use it in this, but I can show you it as well. So here's Beaver Builder. We're going to use the standard editor, which is Gutenberg or the WordPress 5.0 editor. So one thing I noticed right out of the gate is here's the WordPress editor, and we have the WPForms button here. We have add a shortcode, and we have image. So I'll just click the forms, and there's the little bear saying hi. We'll click contact us. There it is. Couldn't really be easier. If I go to plus, same thing. You just search WPForms. There it is. Select a form. So now we've added it twice. Let's get rid of this one. All right, now I'll go ahead and go to preview. And again, this site's pretty stripped down. It's really just to show you guys different things within WordPress without impacting a live site like pressavenue.com. So there we go. We have our title. who posted it, and then we have name. Here's what a checkbox looks like. The phone number. There it is, and I can select the country. So it selected United States for me, and then it has the other ones in here with flags, which I think is a great way to identify things once you get way down in this list. So I think that's absolutely great. Email, so you can put your email in here. All right, so it knows my phone number is not valid for the country I selected. So that's great. Email, subscribe to newsletter, yes or no, comment, and then submit your comment. So that's kind of the basis overview of WP Forms. Again, I really like what I see so far. It really does have an excellent setup, and also they really do walk you through the whole process. One thing I just noticed is right here, WP Forms total entries. They have a kind of graph, looks like a little Google Analytics thing right here. One thing I don't like is the recommended plugin Monster Insights install or learn more. So I have that hide announcements off, I believe. Let me double check. Oh no, it's not off. So I'll hit save and we'll see if that disappears. Nope, so it's still there. So stuff like that I don't care for, especially on a paid plugin. But it is what it is, and I know they need to market. So it might just be my personal preference. So that's it for WP Forms. Again, really do like it a lot, and thank you to them. If you have any questions about WP Forms, please leave them in the comments below. Additionally, if this was helpful in any way, I'd love a thumbs up. And lastly, go ahead and click that red subscribe button to see more WordPress tutorials like this. And that really wasn't lastly. Lastly, we have a Facebook group, the WordPress Tutorials and Community Group, which will allow us to post more updates, welcome people. We do something called WordPress Wednesday, where you can show off your WordPress sites to the world and answer any questions that you may have. Thanks for watching. Thanks again for watching the Press Avenue YouTube channel. Right below me is a circle that'll help you subscribe to the channel quickly. Next to it, the square will bring you to our site. Additionally, to the right over here, there's a recent upload, whatever the most recent one is at the time, and also a YouTube recommended video in our playlist. Thanks.